Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to cover all of Sebastian. I'm going to give you everything you need to know. Now, I have made the move when I was in the military back to Sebastian and the Treasure Coast. So you're going to get a perspective from someone who's left, come back, seen everything change, and knows the ins and outs of Sebastian. And I was kind of struggling to find a place to start with this video just because Sebastian does have so much to offer. It has the mainland side with the river, it has the Sebastian Inlet, it has the whole suburbs area. So figured what better place to start than near the Sebastian Inlet. So you could probably see from one of the signs behind me, I'm at the Sebastian Inlet, and this area is pretty unique just because you have the Indian River on this side, and then turning around you have houses right here that touch the Atlantic and have the beach. So of course, you know, you're moving to Florida, you're going to be close to the beaches, but I'm going to give you everything. So I'm going to tell you the crime statistics because that is huge when moving to a new location. I'm going to give you some personal stories. I'm going to tell you where to live, what to do, what neighborhoods are the best in relative terms, because that's, you know, kind of just depends on what you're looking for and who you are. I'm going to tell you where to go, where to eat, where to shop, what there is for work, pretty much everything. So the whole ins and outs of Sebastian 2024 updated, and you'll know everything by the end of this video. And if we haven't met, I'm Alex Artiega. I'm a real estate agent that covers the whole Treasure Coast. So if you're looking to relocate, please feel free to reach out. I'll let my information roll on the screen, but let's just get into the video because I know that you're going to find this helpful when you're moving to Sebastian. Okay, so we're back in the car and you guys are mounted. So I am practicing safe driving, seatbelt, 10 and 2, all that good stuff, even though I talk with my hands. But I wanted to make this more of a vlog style just because you'll get a better feel for the area if I do it that way. We are 13 minutes away from Sebastian, so we got to cross the Wabasso Bridge. But I do think this is a good time to talk a little bit about the crime statistics, just because that's like the first thing you want to know when you're moving to a location. What's the crime like in that area? Is it safe, or is it a good place to live, whether you're retiring, bringing your family, all that good stuff. Now, remember, I did grow up technically in Sebastian. It's called Vero Lake Estates, the community, but it is closer to Sebastian than Vero. It has more of a country feel, and I've seen it grow just tremendously. We didn't have street lights, we didn't have paved roads, and now that's completely changed as far as Vero Lake Estates goes. Sebastian is definitely growing, but it has always kept that small town charm. Now, as far as is it a safe place, quote unquote, I have to be very careful with how I word these things just because, you know, I could get put in a position of steering people in one direction or another. But I'll give you statistics from Neighborhood Scout, niche.com, bestplacestolive.net or bestplaces.com. I forget the exact thing. And city data, which all of them pretty much say the same thing. I have screenshots, so I'll throw those up now, but it is safer than 66% of the US. Now, does that really help you? I'm not too sure, depending on where you're coming from. If you're moving from a high crime area, then, you know, that's probably going to be a great selling point for you. If you're moving from another small town to this small town, which I still call it a small town because I've you know, seen it, it's definitely growing, but just keep that in mind. It's 66% safer, and I have plenty of buddies that are on the local department, whether it be firefighter or cops, and they all say the same thing. You know, it's usually the same group of people or the same person. You know, whether it's a homeless guy, or which we don't actually have many homeless in Sebastian, which I think is great, and maybe that's part of the reason they didn't want the Bright Line to stop in Sebastian and Vero, just to not make it a commuter town, and I think that's what they were trying to avoid. But personally, would I raise a family in Sebastian? Yes. When I moved back from the military, we lived in Sebastian for around 10 to 15 minutes. My wife wanted to be in Vero. It's a little bit more lively, not like the nightlife's crazy, but it's definitely there's definitely more to do, which she just needs to be close to a Target and a Starbucks. So that's really what it came down to. We're 5 minutes away from there, but I did live there. I would live there. It has that suburbs feel. You'll still see kids riding bikes. You'll still see kids with fishing poles and you know, still outside, which I personally like, and that's part of the reason I wanted to come back to Florida. Even though this is considered more of a retirement state or retirement town, Now we've crossed the Wabasso Bridge and the Wabasso Causeway Bridge, the ELC Learning Center. Again, I don't want to flip it around. I'll just let some footage go on the screen so you could kind of see where we're at. But it's 13 minutes to the beach, and that's to Wabasso. So there's plenty of other beaches you could go to, depending on your preferences. And if you wanted to go up to Vero, that's still a short drive, probably 20 minutes max, and that's hitting every single stoplight on US 1. So again, everything's really close in the grand scheme of things. We're still going to go over the location. We're going to go over where to live, things to do, what to expect, all that good stuff. But we're about 7 minutes away from Riverview Park, so I will talk to you guys when we get there. So now we're at Riverview Park. We're actually across the street from the splash pads. Riverview Park, Mulligan's is right next door on the two docks. You can't miss it. This was actually one of my first times fishing out here in Sebastian. But if you're looking for a great location convenient to everywhere in Florida, this is one of them. It's almost in the middle of Florida. So if you want to jump on 95, go to Orlando. You have family visiting that wants to go to Disney, Epcot, Universal, Islands of Adventure, the water parks. You're a short drive to Orlando, maybe an hour, 20 minutes from here. The airport, again, another hour and 20 minutes. If you want to go to Tampa, it's like 2 hours, 30 minutes, 3 hours. If you want to go to Miami, depending on the traffic, it'll probably take you 2 hours and 30 minutes to 3 hours. Again, Miami traffic is crazy, but that speaks a little bit about the location. If you're looking for a great location, but you want to be close to I-95 to get up and down the coast of Florida, then this is going to be a great spot for you and your family, or you and your retired spouse. And like you kind of saw from the intro, it has the best of both worlds. It has the Indian River aspect, and then it does have the beach. So it's pretty much all type of water sports you're looking for, whether it's fishing, paddleboarding, jet skiing, kayaking. If you want to camp on one of those islands, I've actually camped out there when I was in high school. It was a great time. Just make sure you clean up, because we do like to keep our oceans clean. Okay, so now we are at Riverview Park, and from some of the shots that you've probably seen me throw up, it has the 2 sand volleyball courts, the playground. People will come here, walk their dogs, bike, scooter, all that good stuff. So it's both family friendly and retirement oriented. This is one of the hubs of Sebastian. So you'll have different farmers markets, festivals. They have the craft brew hullabaloo. They have the clam bake. So if you want craft beers, they'll have something for kind of every different part of the month or every other week. It just depends. They have a schedule that you could kind of check out what's going on. You could see right behind me right there, they have a stage, so they'll have live music in the park. It really has a lot of different things to do alone from the other things in the area. So we'll cover the pickleball courses. We'll cover the North County Pool in a minute. We'll cover the restaurants along the river. So I'll take you over there right now. But you have a pretty good idea. Just Riverview Park alone has plenty of family-friendly and retirement-oriented things. Let's jump over to the restaurants along the river, which I know you'll love. Okay, so we are back in the car. Do I need to get in the car to go to any of the restaurants along the river? No, not at all. It's more of a convenience thing, just because I want to show you guys the area and drive around everywhere. But you definitely don't need to hop in the car. You can walk along, and a lot of people do. My parents personally take their dogs on walks all along the river, and so does pretty much everyone else in Sebastian. So whether you're looking for just places to walk or just scenic kind of areas, this Riverview Park section really has it all. We're passing Mulligan's now. If you want my personal opinion on any of these restaurants, please feel free to reach out, and I will tell you my my honest opinion on some of the different foods. So we're gonna go down. We're gonna talk a little bit about Earl's Tiki. If you've been to Sebastian before, you've probably heard of all of these places. Feel free to jump to the next part where we talk about the location, neighborhoods, and all that different stuff. But we're gonna go to the Tiki Bar. I'll show you a little bit there. That's a great spot for drinks along the river. It has great views, honestly. And if you want to pull up to any of these places along the river in your boat and jump from place to place, then you're more than welcome to. All of the places have a dock where you can do such. So it's a great for boaters, and just great atmosphere altogether if you like that kind of boating, fisherman town kind of deal. Okay, so as you can tell, I'm at Tiki Bar, and it's Monday, so it's pretty dead, not to mention it is 10 o'clock with an overcast and it's 70 degrees. But if you come here on a Thursday, they have live music, karaoke. They'll have different bands playing as well. this whole parking, both sections gets filled up, and that is the dock. So if you wanted to pull up on your boat, get out and come here to Tiki Bar, then you definitely have that option. Let's go to the next place. We'll go to Captain Hiram's, and we'll go to Earl's, talking to you a little bit more. Okay, so we are back in the car again. No need to take the car at all. You could honestly walk to all these restaurants, but for convenience sake, now if you are a motorcycle rider, all of these places have motorcycle parking, and honestly, some of the best pizza that you'll have in Sebastian. Now, again, if you're coming from New York, New Jersey, that whole area, you'll debate this with me nonstop. But some of the best pizza I personally think in Florida, in Sebastian, that I found is Earl's. Now, there'll be a wait. They have good meatballs too, and it is a biker bar. So if you come here, pretty much any time throughout the week, you'll see that bikes are scattered all along the front, and it's definitely a spot for bikers. But if you do want to get out there and enjoy the weather, definitely take the bike out to Earl's. So now this is Captain Hiram's, and from the shots that I'm throwing up, it is dead, but it is normally swamped. It's just a mixture of the time, weather, all of that stuff kind of jumbled into one. They have a bunch of different events that they host, so it is family friendly, and it is retirement friendly, or just if you want to put your feet in the sand and enjoy some food and some drinks, definitely come here. They have different fishing tournaments, which I'll throw up a video. I believe it's vertical, but I'll throw up a video of the fishing tournament. So if you're a fisherman, you could register and try to go out there and catch the biggest fish you can in different categories. Now, they also hold live music, bands. They'll host some parties. You could actually stay in the resort section and have access to this as well. They also have St. Baldrick's, which if you move here and you come down here around St. Patty's Day, I'll be up there along with everyone else, kind of shaving your head for kids' cancer, and they do host things for, kind of a good cause. So you'll see me and my fellow realtors doing that, as well as just different local businesses, and you'll hear some pretty amazing stories. So definitely a spot to check out if you come to Sebastian in general. Just come here and get a feel for the area. They do have fishing and not fishing tours. They do have boat tours as well. So they pretty much have it all when it comes to getting a feel for Sebastian. Okay, so now I am here at the Barber Street Park. So the Barber Street Park sports training complex. They have a creative playground right next to the park. They also have soccer fields. They have the football fields right across the street from there, which I'll throw up all shots of everything. And then they also have a skate park over there, but this isn't the only park in Sebastian. There's plenty of other parks that have more minor kind of play equipment. They do have some soccer fields at the North County Pool, as well as baseball fields there. And the North County Pool is just another place you could go to either take the kids, take the grandkids, to have another kind of family friendly activities. They also have lap lanes. The Sebastian River High School, their high school team actually swims, and that's where they practice currently. So it's another spot you could definitely go and explore. They have a trail out there as well. But not to mention, this is also Sebastian and Florida. So you could pretty much throw a golf ball and you will be at a golf course. Those are all different alternatives as far as things to do. So I'll, of course, I've thrown up shots of kind of everything that Sebastian has to offer as far as things to do. But let's keep going into the video. We're going to talk about different neighborhoods so you can kind of explore those options and get a feel for the areas that you're actually going to be living in. Okay, so to talk a little bit about the community and the different neighborhoods, we're going to jump into one of the biggest, which is the Sebastian Highlands area. 2 streets off of Barber Street, just to kind of show you a little bit about the area. But there is no HOA involved, so you'll see different things like RV and boat pads. They'll see different color homes. You don't have to worry about what you plant in your front yard, which I'm not the biggest fan of HOAs, even though HOAs do serve a purpose for certain people. Some people don't want the maintenance, but this is kind of your area. So if you boat, RV, and you want to park it in your front yard with your RV and boat pad, you're definitely capable of doing that, as well as, kind of making the home your own. Now, Sebastian Highlands, there is a mixture of very old Florida style homes and new construction builds kind of throughout scattered lots. So it's kind of just what you're wanting and what your preferences are. Now, there are a bunch of other areas that we're going to cover. We're going to cover Roseland, which is a completely different feel than the Sebastian Highlands area. The waterfront, which I'll throw up a video of the waterfront right now. There's 2 completely style homes. You get one that's more of old Florida and then one brand new construction, and that's riverfront. One thing I do want to mention about purchasing, waterfront property technically. When it's listed on the MLS, it could be a waterfront property, but they could talk about, like a lake or a canal, or a river going through the back of it. So it just kind of depends what your interpretation of waterfront is. If you're looking to get, on a lake, then that's technically waterfront. Okay, so we jumped to Roseland, which we're actually right off of Roseland Road, which is pretty unique. You could see there's a different style of house. So you have like the Florida frame homes, you have brand new constructions, and you have homes that have finished building concrete block 2-story homes. We're actually right off of the airport. So the airport, Sebastian Municipal Airport, is right actually behind us. And then you could just see how developed this section of Roseland is. I mean, when you come in, it's truly unique. You have the trees overgrown with the moss hanging down. It's honestly quite special. You have different parks you could go to. If you go to the airport, you could actually skydive, and then they have a little bar after, which definitely, if you want to try something new, I would explore that option. You have Micco, which I've talked about a little bit in another video, which I'll link it up in the corner. Which Micco, or Little Hollywood, depending on what you want to call it, is technically Brevard, but some addresses still have it listed as Sebastian. So it'll be 123 Main Street, Sebastian, but technically it's in Micco, and then you are a part of Brevard County. So if the school systems matter, just kind of keep that in the back of your head. You might like the area, but if you want to be in the Indian River County school system, look for something in Sebastian. So you also have waterfront, which I've touched on in the earlier section of the video, which that's all the section along the river. And you could kind of see those different style of houses too, which they used to be really affordable, and now, of course, as more people are finding out about the area, you start to realize that it's definitely coming up, in price, just like everything else, honestly. So these are all some things to just know and keep in the back of your head when you're looking in the Sebastian area. Okay, so I had to jump back in the car because the wind noise was horrible, and I do read the comments. I know sometimes my mic kind of acts up, but I wanted to go over the different neighborhoods coming into Sebastian, just being that there's around 2,900 new homes coming just through developers. So this doesn't include people purchasing a lot and then building, their own brand new home. This is just developers. So you have Blue Water Bay, Treasure Bay, Spirit of Sebastian, which I did make a video on. I'll throw a link up there if you want to check that one out. Orchid Reserve Villas. There's like 3 more that I'm forgetting, just drawing a blank on off the top of my head, but I'll throw the whole list up of the brand new communities. Which, subscribe to the channel because I will be covering them, and you'll get a feel firsthand of what to expect and the different style of homes that's coming to Sebastian. Now, Sebastian is small, quaint, quiet, and I know that Sebastian and Vero are definitely trying to keep that feel. So just know that if you are purchasing a home, you'll see different people that object to certain things, whether it's building hotels, developers coming in and purchasing land, because they do want to keep that small town charm that I feel like kind of draws a lot of people to Sebastian and Vero anyways. So just know that and keep that in your head when you're looking to purchase a home out here, and subscribe to the channel because I'll be covering all of those communities. So I actually was going to talk about some of the shopping, which, spoiler alert, if you want a mall, you're definitely going to be making a commute to Melbourne or West Palm Beach, because the one in Indian River is pretty much dead. But we'll go over the shopping in a second. Okay, so like I mentioned in the car, shopping, if you're looking for big box retailers, is kind of minuscule if you're in Sebastian. I mean, there's like a Bell's Outlet. Um, that's pretty much going to be it. And then you do have your big superstores or your big grocery stores. So you have your Winn-Dixie, Publix, Walmart. The furthest you are away at any given time from one of those, major grocery stores is going to be probably 15 minutes. But with that being said, there is a lot of local restaurants, shops, dining, all in Sebastian, which I think is a little bit better than just having all of those big box stores. So that's just something to keep in mind. Like, the area we are at is all locally owned, and there's not one single like chain restaurant or chain company in this area. So it's right off of US 1. You can see they have a Bubble House, they have a coffee place, they have an Asian restaurant, a Village Tavern, there's skincare. So it has a wide range of different places, and this is just one little shopping center that definitely has more of that old Florida feel. Not to mention there's tons of local breweries, restaurants, pretty much everything you could think of. That's all, locally owned, which is another great aspect of living in Sebastian. But if you found this information to be useful, please consider leaving a like, comment if you have any questions. If you want to watch another video about Sebastian, then click this one right here and you'll know more information. But if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I'll let my information roll on the screen, and subscribe to the channel because I will be covering the whole Treasure Coast for the whole portion of 2024. So I'll be finding you those affordable builds, new construction, pretty much everything you could think of. So I'll see you guys in the next video.